What these people hate is that we live a normal life. They want to scare us and to make us live in fear.
It is time for politicians to stop saying Islam is a religion of peace.
They're angry, and clearly they are, but at whom are they angry?
They hate us because they hate us. They hate us because they hate us.
They generally look at America and say, you know, this is a decadent civilization. We are doing the will of Allah to inflict pain and suffering.
Over and over again, are little kids being taught songs, I want to be a suicide bomber.
Is this the truth? Is Islam really about suicide and virgins? Let's understand the philosophy behind the concept of rewards in Islam. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? So what are we going to discuss today?
Terrorism.
Terrorism, and it is a very sensitive and important topic, which is very important particularly for youth and for new Muslims to understand. And it is more relevant because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, called the time that we are living in as the time of trial. So we are going to come to that particular aspect of our conversation, that what is that time of trial and what are we supposed to be doing during that time, and how can we benefit from living during this time of trial. We are going to come to that soon, but I need to set some context, and that context is that there are some non-Muslims which go to the extreme in their efforts to link Islam and the core text of Islam to terrorism. So they say that the Quran and the sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, incite, promote or support terrorism, right? That's why as long as you're a Muslim, they'll find out a label for you. So if you disagree with them, you become a terrorist sympathizer or a terrorist or extremist or fundamentalist. And if you agree with them, some of the Muslims, they go ahead and start criticizing Muslims without having enough information and knowledge. But those extremists, because of their ignorance, are not happy with them either. So they call them Muslim apologists. So just to make it clear that we are neither Muslim apologists nor terrorist sympathizers, we need to set the context. And for that, we need to provide some evidence, right? And the evidence is here. Do you know this guy? Who's this guy?
My cousin.
What's his name?
Abdullah.
And what happened to him? It says Shaheed.
He died when people from outside the school came in and killed 130 people.
Students, young children. So, did you meet him?
No.
But you were talking to him, right? And you had bought something for him. What was there?
Games. Video games.
Video games. So you were going to send those games to him? And then what happened? All of a sudden, you got the news that he died. So how was your reaction? What were you thinking? Because he was probably the only friend that you had, right? Out, like from within the family, right? You didn't know anyone else, right? So how was your feeling? What did you feel? Did anything come to your mind?
I was sad. He was the first person I knew that passed away, like in our family too.
Yeah. And then those kinds of things don't happen here in Canada, right? People don't go to school and kill children like that. So that's just one, right? So he was your cousin from your mom's side, right? And this is Jalal, right? He is your cousin from my side. And this is Hilal. He was younger to him. And he is also your cousin from my side. And they died in 2007. And you can understand their parents' pain and sorrow, that when I asked them for their pictures, they sent me all the details up to the last minute details, like what were they doing? They were in the mosque. They were in which part of the prayer. They've been counting all these days. So when he died, Hilal, when he died, he was 15 years, 4 months and 26 days old. And when Jalal died, he was 27 years and 3 months and 20 days. So they have all the details, which shows that how much those families are still suffering and going through that trauma. So your family has been a victim of terrorism, both from your mom's side and on your dad's side, right? So being a family who's a victim of terrorism like this, like you, all these young people died because of the terrorist attack by Muslims in a Muslim country. So how could you be a terrorist sympathizer, right? That's one thing. But the other thing is that it's easy for those so-called terrorism experts, if there's a bombing, for instance, in Canada or US or Europe, in a majority non-Muslim country, so those so-called terrorist experts will say, oh, they attack us because these are Muslims and Muslims hate our way of life. And they hate us. But they're killing those innocent people in a Muslim country. So when you tell them that, look, they're killing Muslims too, so you would be expecting that they won't have any answer and they would be speechless, but it's not like this. So when you tell them that, look, they're killing Muslims too, schools, do they hate Muslims' way of life as well? So you know what their response is? They said that they're killing, those are radical Muslims, and the Muslims that they're killing, they are liberal Muslims. But you tell me, when they go to a school and kill 134 children, for instance, right? Are there any labels on their forehead that who's the son and daughter of a liberal Muslim or of a radical Muslim? No. But the question is that where is it in the Quran to kill liberal Muslims? So they go in and they kill indiscriminately. So when they go to a mosque, there's everyone in there. Who knows who's a liberal and who is a conservative and who's a radical, right? So they just go about their madness. But that inspiration doesn't come from the Quran and the saying of Prophet Muhammad. And to prove that, I think all our conversation is going to revolve around that.